about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist. Am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know.
That was great sounds of Watson with Outside on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston. Three Nerds Venting this Monday. We got the one and only the great rubbing his beard. This is the censored show. Rubbing his beard. EZ BlueZ, Long Island Rays, Elm City Made. I messed up the intro because I'm suck at introductions. My best friend Easy's better at it, but I'm not going to mess up this introduction. We have the OG Blurred himself, not changing for nobody. He is the super villain to many, the superhero to those who matter. His name is the Professor. This is every Monday right here on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Three Nerds Venting. We just want to give a warning. We do give spoilers. We don't care. That's how we are.
We don't care.
That's how we are. Well, this is your only notice. We do give spoilers. So just if you did not see something, that's on you. Don't say you were not warned. This show is pre-recorded, so if we miss some stuff, we will talk about it. Trust me, we will talk about it. We don't miss things. We will talk about it. This is pre-recorded because we got lives.
We got stuff to do.
We have lives. We are middle-aged people. We have lives. So these episodes are pre-recorded, but this is our therapy. This is Three Nerds Venting. Myself, Preston, EZ BlueZ, and OG Blurred himself, the Professor. The cat's out the bag. Actually, the devil's out the bag. The devil is out here. Daredevil, born again.
Yes.
Our thoughts, bad, good, ugly, and everything in between. Who wants to go first? You want me to go?
I'll
first?
I'll go first. I'll go first. I love Daredevil too. It always comes around my birthday month, so that's always what works out great. No, I think it was very well done. It dragged what I think it was supposed to drag. The type aspect of it, and I appreciate it. I like it. I'm not mad at it. Obviously everyone's like, "Oh, I want to see him in the suit. I want to see him in the suit," and all that kind of stuff. But there's so much more to the story than just this man in the suit. It's so much more to get him to that point. And now, especially talking about after Foggy passes away, and the turmoil that he goes through, and how he becomes kind of like a sellout lawyer, and all that kind of stuff. He just goes through the motions. I love that about him, and how flippin' miserable he is. He's so miserable. You see him in the first episode, he smacks like half a smile.
Oh yeah,
but he's miserable. It's great. It's absolutely great. So I think it was phenomenal. I loved the sit down scene between him and Fisk. I thought that was absolutely amazing.
That was well done.
The fight scene with him and Bullseye was so good. Single camera. Love the single camera fight scene. It's not Daredevil if you don't have a single camera fight scene.
Agreed.
So yeah, I'm excited about it. I love the story. I love the storyline behind it. I know there are people that are talking trash, and I don't care.
Which is stupid.
People are gonna hate on something just to hate on it, and they're literally hating on it just to hate on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I feel.
Professor, you want to do rock, paper, scissors? Because I got something to say.
I mean, if you wish to go, you can go.
Okay.
Can go.
First of all, Foggy's not dead. I don't care what anyone says. Foggy is not dead. Foggy Nelson is not dead. There have been numerous times in the comics where he faked his own death for the better. He is not dead. There have been rumors he's going to return for season 2, which I understand. Foggy is not dead. He faked his own death. I don't know if it's witness protection, something. I don't think he's dead. We didn't see a funeral. We didn't see anything these first 2 episodes. That man is not dead. That man is a good actor. He should win the Academy Award for dying in that first episode. So that man is not dead at all. He just had a little sprain. He's going to get back up. There's going to be an episode where we see him in a hospital bed, or he's going to pop out the dark and say, "Gotcha." He is not dead, people. That's all I got to say. Anyway, this is more I got to say, too. I think Muse is the person, because there was I think it was like the second episode, because they premiered 2 episodes on Disney Plus. I think Muse is one of the fans that signed that therapist book.
Yeah, that dude.
That weird dude with I think she's going to be, unfortunately, the first victim, because he's going to be connected to Daredevil and connected to Fisk, because I like the whole connection of how she's the therapist for Vanessa and Wilson Fisk. I think it's unnecessary help because people want everything to happen all at once. This is slow build storytelling, but it's done in a great way. Yes, I think it's a little bit toned down a little bit, but not as much. I think we're going to get a lot of more gruesome episodes as we watch throughout the season. Because you can't
gruesome, bro, but how gruesome do you want it? Foggy was killed within the first 15 minutes.
Bro, the villain is Muse, who uses the victim's blood for painting.
Word.
Yes, this is light. Foggy, who is not dead, is light. That's all I'm saying. This is light work, these first 2 episodes. But what we got is the right tease to the story building. One, he's retired. Supposedly retired from the superhero game. He's going to come back. He's going to come back because, you can't outlive what he's doing. He's doing it for the better good. One, I think Fisk is going to be mayor for a long time. Just like storyline wise, like beyond Daredevil and everything, I think Fisk is going to be mayor for a long time, which I think is a good direction because there's a lot he can, get away with as the mayor of New York City in this fictional world. I think it's going to be good. I'm predicting something. This is a prediction.
Ooh.
I think Vanessa's going to die. I think Vanessa's going to die. And when Vanessa dies, then good news for us as fans, but I think bad news for, Daredevil and Fisk, they have to work together. Because once the villain kills Vanessa, that's it, bro.
Yeah,
Fisk is going to lose his mind, and he's going to use his power for evil, but in a structured way. He's going to go after the Muse, and he has no other choice but to go with Matt Murdock. I love White Tiger. White Tiger is so good in this. I loved how they betrayed him. Unfortunately, the actor, he died of cancer, so he's not going to be, in future installments, but I think they betrayed him in a great way. I'm excited for the future episodes to see what they do with White Tiger. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm really excited for Punisher. I'm happy he didn't debut in the first 2 episodes. I think it was too early for Punisher. I think that was a smart move. Get Punisher a little bit further down the line because I know there's a rumor of a special presentation with Frank Castle, which I'm really, really excited about. And for those people that are hating, read a Daredevil comic from 2010 at least to 2016 if you did not like what you saw. Because there's a lot of comics within that Daredevil series where there's slow storytelling and there's slow building. And then there's a cinematic event. This is how you interpret the comics the right way. I'm putting my gavel down. Professor, be the main event.
So my personal feelings about this show, I thought it was brilliant.
Absolutely.
That the way it came back, the way it felt like it was a true continuation of where we left off in the Netflix show. Story-wise line. It was it was smooth enough of a transition that you really didn't have to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You just know who he is, why it's important that, how he did things. And so I appreciate them making that clean transition especially for the people that did watch the Netflix show and was a real fan of it. The other thing that I thought was masterful, and I'm gonna agree with you about Foggy coming back.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I love that.
Back. He's come back in the comic books.
Came back numerous times in comics from death.
Right. Yeah. So I'm thinking it's gonna be something like, a witness protection thing. They had to get him and his guy that he was protecting away.
I agree.
And the only way to do it, and unfortunately, with BlueZ being there, that was just the thing they needed to make an excuse why he's not there.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that that's what they do. If they do that, that'll be great. The other thing that I really liked, I like how this is kind of seeming like it's really transitioning into the world of where the Avengers and everybody's going to be. And I'm going to tell you how. So this whole thing actually happened after Secret Wars.
Right.
Not after, but Fisk becoming mayor. That happened it was happening before. but it was after like that whole Civil War event where Captain America was against Iron Man and their parties or whatever. So that transition kind of works it works really well. So the getting rid of the superhumans and stuff and the street level heroes and all this stuff happening, now you can say, all right, now that nobody knows that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, he's gonna now become also a threat because he's technically a street level hero. So now he's a threat. The Avengers have disbanded because of the events of Endgame, right? And Iron Man dying, right? And now you have all these other people, like now we're gonna have I'm sure Norman Osborn is gonna pop up somewhere. We have the whole thing with the Thunderbolts. I think so. We have the whole thing with the Thunderbolts happening, and then so what I'm seeing is this is going to be a good jumping off point for them being able to bring those street level people back, because you got the Punisher, you have Luke Cage, you have Jessica Jones. Please don't bring back that Iron Fist. Please recast him, but whatever.
I think they're gonna bring him back, man.
But I think they're gonna bring him back. I hope not. I've not. Put him in the gym. Put him in the gym and show like proof that he's actually working out for the part, because that was some nonsense. Anyway, but I'm liking what I'm seeing because it's a slow burn. It's exactly how it should be done. You don't give us everything the first two episodes. No, you don't.
Even when you watch the Netflix series, it was a slow burn.
It takes a while.
The first 3 seasons.
That's how you build characters.
That's how you do it. Jessica Jones did the slow burn.
Yes, that's how you build the characters. Even the Hector Ayala character, right?
Yeah.
He has a storied history with the Sons of the Tiger. Like he used to roll with Shang-Chi and Iron Fist, and the real Iron Fist, not that guy from the show. Anyway, he has a history of rolling with, the Sons of the Tiger. And he has a storied history. He went to NYU like Peter Parker did. Like, so he has a long history in the comic books. And then upon his spoilers for if you're gonna read the comic book, but he was gunned down because Matt Murdock was because he was accused of murder, and Matt Murdock was representing him, and he was like trying to leave or something, and he was gunned down. Boom, and that's how his niece ended up taking over, or was his daughter? Anyway, but somebody in his family, I think it's niece, somebody in his family took over as the White Tiger. So I like the development. That part makes it all make sense. Plus, we got that conversation between Fisk and Murdoch.
So good.
We needed that conversation. We needed that conversation. They even tied off the whole thing with Echo and that experience. So now we know that was a part of the whole canon. Boom. So we got what we needed. We got what we needed, and I do believe Muse is going to kill Vanessa. That's my prediction. That's my prediction.
It just makes sense.
It makes sense.
Because how else would they join forces?
That's going to be his push, right? That's going to be his push. That's going to be not only is going to be his push, but it's also going to make it, because he already made the announcement that he doesn't think that mass vigilantes should be doing anything. He spoke about Spider-Man. He spoke about the devil. He spoke. So he's already putting that in people's ear. So that thing with Muse is really, really going to push him over the edge.
Oh yeah, that's going to be
brilliant.
That's going to be brilliant. Epic scene, bro.
So so I don't know. I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing, and
it's anticipated. I'm happy. This makes me happy. This makes me anticipated for what's to come. What I don't want, though, what I really don't want, I don't want him too attached to crossovers. I want the street world to stay in the street world.
I agree.
I don't want everybody that we've seen in the past 3 to 4 years being this Doomsday and Secret Wars movies.
one thing that I liked.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
well, one thing that I liked with the comic book was the stuff that was happening on the ground floor was the street level stuff and the stuff with Fisk.
Yeah.
Anybody that was like higher power, the big guys, the big guns and stuff like that, they stayed in their world.
Absolutely.
They stayed in their world. Matter of fact, a bunch of them went off world.
Yeah.
It was part of that time where because Tony Stark came back. Anyway, it was part of that time where Tony Stark went off with the Guardians of the Galaxy. He was off. Thor left. Because remember, Thor originally wasn't even a part of the whole Civil War event. Just like in the movie and stuff, he wasn't a part of it, and neither was the Hulk. Right. So when Thor came back, it was at the tail end, right before the Secret Invasion thing. So here's another great opportunity. Now we can do that. We can tie in the whole, and again, it's street level stuff. We can tie in the whole thing with the Skrulls coming back and that Secret Invasion, and that can all
done the right way though.
Done the right way.
Yes.
Right. Well, again, it's a matter of just fixing, and because again, we talked about last episode, we were talking about the whole tying in the whole. They were trying to fix the whole Eternals debacle with the whole adamantium thing and whatever. I'm kind of seeing, hopefully, that they'll do the same thing with this stuff, because that in-game event changed the world. Seriously,
it did.
It changed the world. And now that we're down off of that whole, alien invasion thing, this and that and the other thing, it's a nice way to like backdoor some of the, the Skrulls coming in and them doing like a little bit of the Secret Invasion and stuff like that in the midst of it leading up to Secret Wars, to Doomsday and all of that. It's a good way to do it. But here's the problem.
Talk to me.
Stay away from that stuff now. This is a good opportunity to develop your street level stuff.
Yeah.
Great opportunity. Let it rock.
Let it rock.
Because you won't
Give me
care.
some Easter eggs every now and then. Give me the Easter eggs, but slow.
You won't care about what's happening.
Yeah,
you won't care about what's happening everywhere else, because your street level characters will be relevant.
Absolutely.
And they'll be taking care of that part of the world.
Absolutely.
So, you don't have to worry about, Iron Man's not here. So and so's not.
Yeah.
You don't care. You won't care, because you got your Luke Cages and your heroes for hire. You got those people still doing the job, the street level. Plus, now that Spider-Man is not considered, like, because everybody forgot that Peter Parker, boom, boom, boom. You now have Spider-Man back on the street, which is where I like it. I like that.
And I like that fact, because they can get away from they can get away from the Peter Parker aspect, because they really can't legally say Peter Parker. They can say Spider-Man. So they say Spider-Man is like in the sky and, saving the world. They don't have to really show Tom Holland. They can just show someone in a Spider-Man suit. So there's a lot they can get away with just that angle.
They sure can.
You technically don't have to have Tom Holland in everything. You can just show a little person with the suit just doing his thing.
Yeah,
you can marinate with that for a little bit.
Well, there's a huge spider universe that they can delve into. I mean, at some point in time, you could do Spider Pig, bro. Let's be real.
I know that, but I think once they fully get the rights, because Disney needs to get these rights back. Because Sony don't know.
They've never cared about rights in their entire life. Why do you think they care now?
Because here's the thing. I need them to.
Yeah.
If you're gonna introduce. There's nothing wrong with the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider. There's nothing wrong with him popping up. There, and
a real
nothing wrong.
Spider-Man street level.
Yes. There's no wrong with dropping them until they get the rights back completely. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it.
But this is the thing. I think they can't do it. Mention Ben Reilly. Mention Gwen. Because there was another rumor that I think when Secret Wars is done, and once they're done with the whole animated Spider-Verse movies, they were gonna go. Sony, the company alone, was gonna go with a Miles Morales direction. So they're gonna go with Miles Morales doing it as live action, which I don't think so. I think they dropped the ball and fumbled on doing a live action Spider-Gwen. I thought that was the perfect time right now to do a character like that, especially with her.
They can't do that until after Doomsday and Secret Wars, because that's where they get her and Miles Morales from, the other universes. So they can't do it yet. our Gwen Stacy for the 616 is dead. Is dead. So we can't touch Ghost Spider. We can touch Silk. We can bring Silk in. Who was a dope character. But then it'll get weird. Then it'll get weird because of our dynamic.
Yeah.
The speculation. But the smarter thing is, like I said, let's let these street level characters do their thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because there's hundreds you can work with.
Yes.
Hundreds.
Yes.
Hundreds.
And hey, it's a good reason to be able to bring Shang-Chi back into the world.
Yep.
That's a good reason to bring him back.
Which should have been happened, but
it should have been happened.
Argument.
Right.
Can go on and on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Go ahead, Professor.
Yep. That could be your entry with the Sons of the Tiger. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's a lot of great opportunities because you're right. There are tons of street level characters that they can introduce.
Yeah.
It's
easily.
Yes. And the beauty of it is, a lot of them tie into the Doomsday and the Secret Wars thing.
Yeah.
So it's because you can't have that. Matter of fact, oh my God, it'd be brilliant. At the very end, that's when you get Luke Cage running for mayor. Boom. After this whole nonsense. Oh my God. I'm so excited about what the potential could be.
The potential is there, and it looks like they're going through the aspects and they are rectifying where this to me seems like the repair era of Marvel. You know, you've had your different eras, your Iron Man era, your Captain America era, your Avengers era, and this is the repair era. This is where they're sitting there, and very similar to what Star Wars did with Rogue. Which was by far my second favorite. Star
Rogue
Wars
One,
movie.
definitely. Rogue One is up there.
Ridiculous.
Agreed.
But they took, a plot hole and they made $1 billion movie out of it. And we're starting to see them try to do that in Marvel right now. And I'm really, really enjoying it.
Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. I hope Professor's okay. He's just.
I'm sure he's okay. Probably. He didn't want us to see. He's got Marianne and Ginger over there, and
okay,
going on right now.
Gotcha.
So he just wanted to make sure that stayed off camera.
No. Penny wants to go out, so I was like, do it quickly. No, there's no Marianne. There's Penny Candy Collins. That's all. There's only she's the only one here.
Right. Talk about the dogs, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about the dogs.
Yeah, that's
the best. I guess you didn't expect me to say something like that because you came back hysterical. I was like, wow, that's a normal thing for me.
So let's keep talking.
Let's continue speculation. Professor,
right.
come back when you can come back.
Hand your business.
Easy. This is perfect for you because this is your boy, Dr. Doom.
Yep,
he's coming. He's going to be debuting next year in Doomsday. We might see him this coming summer with the Fantastic Four. We did see the leaked pictures of the supposedly concept art of what's to come. How personally would you introduce Doom into the universe? How would you feel it should be done the right and proper way?
Well, the right way, he's got to be introduced at least in the lore of the Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
He went up in the shuttle with them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I understand.
He's got to be mentioned there, because if he's not mentioned there, there's a whole lot that, how I feel about getting too far away from the comic.
Absolutely.
I don't, and that's just such a pinnacle part. The fact that he was best friends with Reed Richards, that's so important, that they were competing for the love of the Invisible Woman. That was so super important to the whole story of it. It has to be there. And all I want is like a picture.
All you want is a picture?
All I want is a picture.
Okay.
Like, I'm looking at the flight picture, and it just happened to be whoever the real Doom is. I'm not saying. See, this is where I say my Easter egg type of theory. I want to see it in a picture of like them about to, the flying out, and be there just a picture, and
Okay.
it be someone who's not Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, that's what I want.
That's an
someone who's not Robert-
interesting take. That's an interesting take. I personally want to see RDJ in Fantastic Four.
Okay.
But I want him to be the puppeteer with the whole thing, just with the whole multiverse and stuff that's expected to come. I want him to be this puppeteer because Doom is so intelligent, and a little like battle at the very end of Fantastic Four, like a little shock value to see what is expected to come within this next big movie next year, I think will be good.
Right.
Because it'll get people talking, it'll get the buzz going. I like to see like a couple. I know we're expected to see the Council of Reeds in this coming Fantastic Four. That's official. We're going to see the Council of Reeds. But to see Doom looking at different versions of himself within this film, just like a little glimpse. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like go too big. Definitely focus on Galactus, because as a nerd, seeing him as a cloud was disappointing. So definitely focus on Galactus. You know,
I honestly think that we're definitely going to see Doom in this movie, right?
Absolutely.
In the Fantastic Four. Definitely.
Absolutely.
But I'm thinking it's going to be, and from stuff that I've heard, and again, I take it with a grain of salt.
Absolutely, yeah. Because
the way I hear it, it's going to be Doom and the Fantastic Four kind of versus Galactus, because I think he's going to call in, he's going to inadvertently trigger Galactus coming or something, or I don't know how
he's
going to
work
it out.
He's going to cause it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you.
Right, but I also think that and the way they were saying he's going to enter into the MCU is equally brilliant. And if it comes to pass, it'll be great. So they're speculating that what's going to end up happening is because he is from a different universe, but he looks like Tony Stark. When he comes into this universe, he's gonna see, because how you see those murals of Stark in different places, and his face is plastered everywhere. He's the hero of Endgame, right? Yeah. So when he sees that, he's gonna start impersonating him, and we might get this. We might get this little infamous Iron Man thing when Dr. Doom took over as Iron Man. They might throw that in there, and then somehow or other we might also get RDJ back as the real Iron Man, because again, he's died in the comic books a couple of times. So I'm right. He always comes back. So it also ties into, because there was a point where he was dead and he helped out Riri Williams. Yeah, like he came back and helped her out in the comic book. So that was dope. So, I mean, there are so many great possibilities, and not for nothing. If you're going to be bringing back RDJ as Dr. Doom, right? You're telling us as the viewers, as the people that are fans of this universe now, that he still got some legs in him. He has some movies left. Okay. Yeah. And he can do those movies as Iron Man, and we get let's get Mads Mikkelsen. If he didn't play Caecilius in that, Doctor
That's
Strange,
what I'm thinking.
Mess up that character. That was awful. But I mean, there are other actors that can play him respectively. But RDJ is not that guy. He's not that guy for me. Yeah. So I would really, really love them to bring him back as Iron Man instead of recasting Iron Man. Because here's the thing, you have so many stories to tell. If you're doing what they say they're doing, like Scarlett Johansson as Madam Hydra, Chris Hemsworth as Evil Thor, Chris Evans as Captain Hydra, Lou Ferrigno as Maestro. That's an interesting one. But if you're doing that,
I agree. It really
Doctor
is.
Strange.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange as evil Doctor Strange, right? And the beauty of this whole thing is all those characters were halfway done in the cartoon, and some of them were done, which was dope, and then some of them were done during the incursions with the other worlds. And plus we got that I'm putting the cart before the horse. I know we're supposed to talk about it, but we got those pictures of the T'Challa. That could be the King of the Dead T'Challa.
Right.
Looks like
You know
Damon.
what I mean?
It looks like
Idris, right?
Franklin from Sky.
Desmond Idris. That kid.
Yes, I forgot what TV show on FX he's on. It's a good show.
Snowfall, right?
Snowfall. Yes, yeah.
So, bro, if they're gonna do that, I'm here for that. I'm here for all of that. So I'm hoping. I'm feeling really positive because I know this movie, this Fantastic Four movie, is gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be good.
I know it's gonna be.
It's gonna be good. I just feel, like when I first heard the RDJ announcement, I feel they shouldn't have done it. It would have been amazing, just like to sit back in the theater, look at it, be like, what? It just be like, what?
Yeah, you're right.
That would have been a better reaction. But just the fact I feel how they revealed it early makes me think that RDJ is not the final Doom.
That's and that's kind of what I was hinting towards as well. They should really just mention him like in a photo, and it'd be like it's the news clipping of when they were launched, and it's got the 5 of them together, and you never really look at the photo when you first see it. But when you go back and you hit it in the freeze frame, because we're all geeks and we pick apart these movies. So when you're freeze framing and you're looking at shot for shot to see where all these Easter eggs are, you see it's Cillian Murphy.
It would be great.
That was my pick. But
you know what I'm saying?
Great.
You see that in the picture in this movie.
It would be cool. And that was my first pick as Doom. But Maz Mikkelsen. They had an interview with him. Right. He said yes to the part, but then RGJ, said yes. So that was in the back burner. So if RDJ would have said no, Maz would have been the one walking up.
Because they can still do it.
They can still do it. Maybe it was a tease because like Marvel likes to mess with their fans until the final product comes on screen.
Yep, Casillas is gone. Is gone. So he could still do it. He could be the end. He could be the end Doctor Doom that we get after Secret Wars.
My top 3 were Cillian, Maz, and Javier. But easy, I apologize. Go ahead.
No worries. But no, that's one of the coolest things about the Doom characters. For so long, you never knew who was behind the mask.
No, not at all.
So if they would not have mentioned who it was, and you just saw eyes and different things like that, and even like take it that far. Take it as like, in the credits, person who played Victor Von Doom. You know what I'm saying?
That would have been amazing.
Or something along those lines. Like, give us that slow burn. Like, let us be surprised for once in our lives. We sit and we pick this stuff apart all the time. And the one thing that I think is missing is I'm no longer looking at it with that childhood awe. Because they're not surprising me anymore. Like I see what's happening 3 steps ahead. I've read the comic books. I know the final ending. At the end of the day, like no one is shocking me. No one is proving that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father anymore, and that's a problem.
Right. I kind of understand what their thought pattern was. I don't agree with it, but I kind of understand what their thought pattern was by dropping RDJ. So they had this They had this entire thing, that whole phase, right? The phase 4 thing, right? That didn't do as well as they wanted it to do. They took some chances. They took some risks, right? They're finally getting people excited again because now the Fantastic Four is here and Deadpool and Wolverine. So you got to kind of keep it going. Captain America, because they kind of held that one for a while, and they filmed a while ago, right? And they just so they did the reshoots and whatever. But now they have to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely.
So how do you keep the momentum going? Is the last thing that brought people joy was that phase where it ended up with Endgame. You killed off one of your premier characters that started Blade started the whole universe. But anyway, you had that one character within Iron Man that you killed off, right?
Yeah, you did.
Then you got rid of Johansson, and then you dismantled what the magic was, right? So Now you got to in my again, this is what I'm seeing in my head. It's like you have to figure out a way to bring people back and say, we're back now. So the smartest thing you could do, because they could have, in my head, they could have just relied on the power of what Mackie was doing with the new captain as the new Captain America.
Right.
They could have relied on what the Thunderbolts was doing. Right? Boom. And then the Fantastic Four is coming. That in my head is enough. That is enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough for the people who are not full fans, who are not, right? You need to bring those people back. So you bring back the one thing that they loved, RDJ. You knew Dr. Doom was coming. He has to. You know, you weren't sure what you were going to do with the Kang, Kang the Conqueror thing, and you weren't sure. And right now they could bring back Jonathan Majors and tie that off and stuff too. They could do that, but because he was a part of the original Secret Wars, but they're not. I hope they do at some point. I hope they mention them, whatever. But so you have all of these things that kind of, you lost your Black Panther. You have all these things that kind of fell apart. You did your best for that last phase. Didn't work out as great as you wanted to. You know what I mean? So now it's like we're throwing everything at people just to say, we are back. We are back. We gave you the fan service with the Deadpool and Wolverine. We brought, right? We did tell you that the mutants are now coming. They're coming slowly, but they're on their way.
Absolutely.
Fantastic Four is here. So they're throwing every little piece of junk that they have at you to make sure that you're back. So when things are happening, you're going to be like, oh, this is great. Because, all right, let's be honest. I don't think many people are excited about the possibility of what the new Avengers team could look like. Look who's left.
See, that's the thing. I don't want it. I don't want it. With X-Men coming, I don't want it.
Right.
Hold on, though.
They have great options.
They have great options.
Amazing options, but I'm done.
But look who's
personally, I'm done.
First of all, people are on the fence, and it's annoyed me to no end.
Listen, man,
all the people complaining about he's not really Captain America. Yeah, he
look,
is.
Man,
we know where they lie.
Had a problem with the halftime show.
Know where they lie. We know where they lie. Captain America was not the worst part of that movie.
Sure, it was not.
It was one of the highlights and good parts of that movie. Anthony Mackie did a great job. And that's all I'm saying about that, because we already know we don't want to repeat ourselves again and again and again.
Yes.
But as far as Avengers, I just want a break. Give me the X-Men. I want da-da-da-da-da-da. I want that. I want that. I want Professor X. I want Wolverine. I want less Wolverine, but I want Wolverine. I want Cyclops. I want Storm. Give me more.
I want Storm.
I want Kitty Pryde. I want Nightcrawler. I want that world to be mainly theatrical. I want that world to be mainly theatrical. And I want my TV world to be mainly street world. You know what I'm saying? I'm Pat. Avengers was a fun time, but I'm past that. I'm personally, I'm past that.
I want the horror stuff. I want the Blade to be there. Too, I want, you know what I mean? I want all of that. Like,
there's so much within this universe.
They don't and they don't need the attention to be on the Avengers being right. They don't need the Avengers team to come back
because highlight it.
Right. If you think about it, right? Again, thinking about the trajectory of the comic book, right? You have these other pieces of the universe that you have the space level stuff, you have the horror, the mystery stuff with Doctor Strange and all those characters. You have the street level stuff. They have so many different options.
Yes,
I think because they lean so heavily into the whole Avengers thing, and everything that they did kind of connected to some way or some form into the Avengers. Like, people are just relying on them to come back. And again, with a threat, look, I'm not going to say nothing, but if you've been watching those trailers for the Thunderbolts, the Sentry is a problem.
The Sentry is a problem. I just want to know where this story goes.
Me too. That's the thing. Me too, because they're not going to stop him. They're not going to stop him.
They're not.
They're not going to. They can't.
He has to win.
He
has to win.
But now that he's out in the world, it's like, all right, now we need some big powerhouses to come. That's going to help us out. All right. That's how you introduce it. You introduce a giant threat like him that we know that the Thunderbolts cannot take. So now we get our Adam Brashears. Now we get, you know what I'm saying? Now we get the real powerhouse characters that could step in and say, all right, boom. Now we have them. But let them be over there. Let us keep our street level characters.
Of course.
Because make no mistake, there is no substitution for the Avengers.
There's not.
Even like
There's
the
not.
Dark Avengers, right?
No.
Even the Dark Avengers in the comic book during the Secret War, the real Secret War event, right? After the Civil War event, that Thunderbolts Ross put together, those Thunderbolts, right?
Right.
Even that crew, it was a bunch of bad guys that were dressed up like they were, you know what I mean? Like they were actually the people. You know, we had Dakin, who, you know, was Wolverine's son playing Wolverine. You had Moonstone playing Ms. Marvel. You had the Scorpion playing Spider-Man. So you had all these characters, these bad guys now playing good guys, right? As the Thunderbolts and stuff, because they were trying to replace the Avengers because the Avengers had fallen apart. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it because we don't need the Avengers. We don't need the Avengers.
And then you call them back in 20 years.
Yeah, right. Fine.
That
Fine.
part.
You call them back. Put together a
yes,
solid team.
That part.
Let's have Luke Cage put together the Mighty Avengers. Then they're street level. They're more street level characters. You know what I mean? Let them put the Mighty Avengers together. See, that team was tough. It was dope.
And that would make sense. And if you give it a long period of time, then you can have, and you're building up the X-Men at that point. Then you have one of the best crossovers in comic history. X-Men versus the Avengers.
That would be amazing.
10, 15 years down the road.
Then later on, you could bring the Eternals back in some way, and then you could have the X-Men versus
on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. This is a prediction, a solid prediction. If it comes true, we want our money.
Yeah,
me.
The funny part is they have a lot of options now. They have a lot of options. They have a lot of characters they can draw from. They have a lot of, again, the street level by itself.
Right.
The street level characters by themselves is enough to carry this a whole phase by themselves.
But see, we're forgetting one property that they're already in the works of. They're continuously telling us it's going to come, it's going to come, it's going to come. But they've got the Young Avengers, which is going to be on the table. You can't because you got to remember it's not just our demographic that they're playing to.
I know, but I think they're messing up a little bit with them.
Yeah.
Okay,
and I'm gonna tell you why.
I'm sure it came during Phase 4.
Yeah, they're messing up because the characters that they have now that could serve as the Young Avengers, they're a little too old. They'd be better off serving as the champions because remember after the Young Avengers, after they grew up a little bit, that's who they became. Yeah. They became the champions and stuff. And I mean, we're talking all of them: Kate Bishop, America Chavez, all of them. They became Stature, who Scott Lang's daughter. So those characters then morphed into the champions because they were no longer young. Seeing Wiccan and Agatha all along, he's an older kid now. He's not the younger kid, right? So again, those characters, they can still serve their purpose as the Young Avengers. Heck, I'd even drop the name. Should we call ourselves the Young Avengers? No, we're the champions. Boom.
That's better. That's a better angle.
I can see that because
Haley Steinfeld is a woman. She's like,
I know she's a full-blown woman.
Yeah.
So I would like to see those characters still do something as a team because it would be great. I heard they were bringing the Runaways back because they introduced Nico in as a character in that Spider-Man series, right? So now, oh my God, we remember her from the Runaways. If they bring the Runaways back, that show was dope. I don't know why.
I got a speculation though. I have a speculation. This is what I want. Go. I say utilize for the young generation because Spider-Man did a great job. Utilize your animated world to the fullest.
Agreed.
This is a great time to do that. Then you can put Young Avengers in. Then you can put the Runaways in. Then you can focus on more of the teen children heroes within the animated world to appeal to that young audience.
Okay.
I feel that should be a great direction. Because yes, Easy has a point. Easy has a great point about Young Adventures. It's a good time for it. But I feel if you highlight it more in an animated sense and push that to a younger generation, because a Young Adventures with Spider-Man cartoon series with little MCU highlights, that's a sell for me. That's a sell for the new generation coming up. That's a sell for the younger generation. It's a good play for me.
And you also have to think about some of the characters that they did introduce during like some of the animated stuff. Having a Moon Girl in live action,
Be amazing.
her being the third smartest person on the planet.
Mhm.
All right, having a Moon Girl in the mix now, that would be amazing. That would be amazing too. Her and Devil Dinosaur.
Oh yeah.
Now you got the whole Savage Land aspect and stuff
There you
coming in.
go.
Come on, you have so many different options. Marvel, let me talk to you for a second, Marvel.
Cool.
You have a plethora of characters to draw from.
Absolutely.
Don't leave your animated series characters out to dry.
No.
Don't do that.
This is a perfect time for it.
Yes, it's a perfect time for it. Because let me tell you something. I don't know if people are realizing that Doctor Doom is a threat on two fronts. Not only is he a brilliant scientist, right? Not only is he a brilliant scientist, but he's also a threat with sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
He's a threat on two fronts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Don't take that lightly. You need as many big brains as you can.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. You also have to now call in Jericho brother Voodoo. You need to call him in now.
Oh, Brother Voodoo. Yeah.
Brother you need to call him in too. Right. So you have all these characters that you could bring in. Damian Hellstrom and his sister Satana. You have all these amazing characters that you can bring in that can fill out the whole. Oh my God. Just imagine those characters. And look, that Hellstrom series on Netflix. I mean not Netflix, on Hulu. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't what people thought it was going to be. But it wasn't terrible. Those characters were solid. The storyline was solid and it was creepy and scary. Just what I wanted to see. So, if they do the smart thing and lean into the stuff that they did well with some of the animated stuff, and now those characters they should be canon. You should bring those characters now into live action. For the characters like the Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, and bring those characters back because you have a whole world. You got the street level, you have the supernatural. Yes, you already had your space stuff. This is a good time. Now you can introduce Richard Rider Nova. So you have all these different areas coming from. I'd love to see them powerhouses coming. Thank you for dropping in Love and Thunder, even though it was a tragedy. You now have Hercules. You mentioned Amadeus Cho. You have all these great characters.
Yeah.
So
but I just don't want too many crossovers live action wise. I think you can utilize the crossovers animation wise. That's what I wanted to highlight. The animation.
Oh no.
Better.
I agree with you. They don't need to do crossovers. They can do
live
their
action,
own separate thing.
Yeah, I like more standalone.
Do a mention. Yeah, do a mention. Like I loved the street level stuff with the Netflix series because they acknowledged the Avengers.
Yeah, they acknowledged what happened in
New York. They never called them, right? They never called them. They never looked them up. They never said, "Hey, we're having this problem with the hand. We could use a hand." They never did none of that. No. They handled the problem. And the funny part was that threat of the hand and what was going on. That was a potentially world-breaking threat right there.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
And the street level heroes took care of it. Right. The street level heroes just imagine those hand ninjas getting over. They could have taken over the world.
Right.
That's how many of them that and the power that they held. That was some world breaking stuff. And the street level heroes held it down like they've always done in the comic books.
Right.
People don't know how many actual threats that could have been detrimental, not just to Hell's Kitchen, not just to, Harlem, but to the world that the street level characters stopped.
Yeah.
Right.
Let them cook, please. Let them cook.
We got about 2 minutes left of volume 20. But I just want to give a yay or nay just with the concept art that I send you guys. I wish I could just had the access to put it on the screen right here so the audience knows what we're talking about, but I'm gonna do it in the description for the Avengers concept art. All right, so the first picture I got up right now is the Hulk world with Scar, She-Hulk, and that's a thumbs up. That's a thumbs up with it if they do it right.
Yeah, if they do it right,
I'm gonna give it a thumbs down just because what I saw with She-Hulk with Scar, just with the sun.
That's fine. That's
with
fine.
the sun. Because I wanted the Hulk world to be, that's one of my favorite storylines. I want the Hulk world to be done right. And the sun looked terrible in She-Hulk, in my opinion. So I'm gonna give that a thumbs down. And I'm ready for my crazy Hulk back. I'm done with Smart Hulk. All right, cool. So we got this dinner table scene with Star-Lord. It looks like Wong's in there, Wiccan, Wiccan and Speed. I assume Wanda's sons, and we got new Hawk girls in there, and it looks like Miss Marvel with the brace. Their collective force scene. Do we give a nay or yay for that? Thumbs up, thumbs down for this concept art? It's like a final supper table with Wong, because we don't really know too much is with it. This may not be official just yet.
So I'm under the assumption that Strange is still away with Clea in the Dark Dimension doing something. So and Wong is just doing his duties as the Sorcerer Supreme, protecting.
Absolutely, you're correct.
Right. So I'm like kind of mid with that whole.
You're
thing.
mid with that. Me too.
I know, because I'm not a fan of Peter Quill being back on Earth and taking a break and all that stuff. I mean, if we're being honest, you weren't the highlight of the Guardians anyway. So being back on Earth,
I agree.
ain't really doing nothing for me.
And the fact that I loathe the actor makes it so much.
That helps.
He's just a horrible. He's just a horrible piece of human.
He's out of place. He's better. He's better off at nowhere. You know what I mean? He's better off at nowhere.
Last minute. It's got a couple seconds. Yeah or nay? White Vision and Star-Lord being besties on the couch. Yay or nay?
Yeah, I gotta.
Nay. Nay for me too. The new King T'Challa, Franklin from Snowfall. Okay, I'm gonna give that a thumbs up to see what they go with it, because the concept art looks really good. Okay, I'm gonna give this a yay. Emperor Doom with evil Doctor Strange, the Invisible Woman, in Latveria, with surprisingly Black Widow's sister as Doctor Doom's guard. That interests me a lot, how they tied. That makes me excited for Thunderbolts just a little bit, just to see how that goes. I'm going to give that a yay.
That gets a big thumbs up.
That gets a big thumbs up.
That almost comes right out of the comic book, that scene.
Well, and that's the key thing. And I automatically think of the story that you constantly tell when we bring up the Doctor Doom thing, and how you feel he's not going to be the supreme Doom. This is just a version of Doom.
Yep.
And that's kind of why I want to see the photo. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you're going to do it, do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're going to talk about it in the next volume, but I think we can all say yay, because there is a photo with just God Emperor Doom chilling on the throne.
I love it.
That looks.
I love it.
Top tier, exceptional. Volume 20's come to a close. I love it too. I love these talks. This nerd therapy is great. Three nerds venting, myself, Easy, and the OG Blurred himself, the Professor. We will see you next Monday. Take care, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know.